When I heard that Kemco had produced a 2.5D side-scrolling beat-em-up which was to be published by Ubisoft in the year 2000, I was instantly looking forward to it. This interest peaked even further when I saw that it was based around the Batman Beyond license and would be released around the same time as the movie. The game was to be released on both PlayStation and the N64, with a handheld version coming to the Game Boy Color. The game has you playing as Terry McGinnis, a 17-year-old boy who teams up with Bruce Wayne, who by this point is old and so is passing the torch to the next generation of crime fighter. With his new Batsuits, which include high-tech weaponry, our new Batman takes to the familiar streets of Gotham City to fight crime against a mixture of old and new faces. The license could have provided an excellent game, but sadly this will go down as one of the worst games ever released in the genre, and one of the most universally panned games on the N64. The problems begin with its gameplay. Whilst 2D side-scrolling beat-em-ups were out of favour at this time, the game does nothing to help regenerate the genre. You walk around aimlessly attacking a few generic enemies, find a key or hit or switch, and then move into the next section. The game has the usual fight mechanics with some unique weaponry, but the game rarely builds to anything above a snail's pace. Kemco described the combat system as a combo system, but there's no real fight mechanic in the game. You're simply left button mashing, and rarely is there any purpose or use for actually using any of the cool gadgets that you're armed with. Making things worse is that the standard punches and kicks are actually more powerful than the weapons, meaning you'll result to the same basic attacks throughout the entire game. The AI of the enemies is totally non-existent, and many times you can enter rooms and you'll not be approached at all. Many enemies will simply just stand there on the spot when you're attacking them, but things do get even worse for this game. The graphics are atrocious, by no means on Superman 64 level, but that game at least tried. It's as if Kemco had never made a game before. The character animations are abysmal, and I've seen early South Park episodes which have more frames of animation. The backgrounds and environments are dull and lifeless, and all seem to have a dull grey smudge all over the textures. Rounding off the horrific nature of this game comes the sound. I use the term sound loosely, as it never before has an N64 game tried to get away with so little. There is absolutely no speech, which includes both in-game and the poorly written static cutscenes. There is only one guitar riff which repeats the same 30-second loop the whole time you're playing. It doesn't become annoying the longer you play, it's annoying from the start, and it will make you want to mute it even if you have the mistake of wanting to try and continue to play the game. The only saving grace is the ability to switch costumes as you play. The different suits have different abilities, strengths and weaknesses, but you'll either have no interest in seeing what they can all do, or quickly realise there's very little to differentiate between them. Thankfully I skipped this one as a kid, but playing it now has made me realise I'd have still hated it back then. I was a huge fan of side-scrolling beat-em-ups, and some of my favourite games of all time are of the genre. Sadly, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker will always be remembered as a wasted licence and confined to the bargain bins of game stores everywhere. But perhaps you see it differently. What do you make of Batman Beyond Return of the Joker? Did you buy this on the strength of the Batman licence? Did you overlook many of the game's flaws as a kid to actually enjoy this game? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and until next time.